welcome to lesson 104. This is about rounding decimals to the nearest whole number. Now, whenever we round decimals in real life, most of the time it has to deal with money. If I wanted to say that the latest Star Wars movie came out and it was $19.97, we'd say it's about $20. You're rounding up, you're rounding your decimal numbers, which are included whenever we use money. So there's a real life situation whenever we are rounding decimals and the skill needed for that. So it's the exact same thing that we're going to actually be talking about today. Whenever I am rounding a decimal number, it's always helpful to draw a number line. Now I'm drawing the number line between my two whole numbers. Those are the two whole numbers I'm going to put on the number line because that's all I need. I need to know whether I'm rounding up or whether I'm rounding down. So if I have 7 5/10, that's my halfway point. So 7 5/10 is always halfway. So if I have 7 5/10 and anywhere in between that and 8, I'm going to round up to 8, which means 7 5/10, 7 6/10, 7 8/10, or 7, I'm sorry, this would be 7 7/10, and this one would be 7 8/10, and 7 9/10. So that would be rounding up because those numbers are closer to 8 on the number line. If I have anything under 7 5/10, which 7 1/10, 7 2/10, 7 3/10, 7 4/10, then I would round down because those decimal numbers are closer to 7, my next whole number. Again, same thing with the mixed numbers. I'm not going to round down to 6. I'm going to round down to 7, the whole number that I actually started with. Example 1 says to round 7 6/10 to the nearest whole number. So 7 6/10 on my number line is right here, which means it is closer to 8. If you can't read that, I know it's a light green, but it says closer to 8. So that means my whole number I round to would be 8. It's as simple as that. Example 2 says to estimate the product of 8 7/800 and 6 1200. Now this is just taking it a little step further. We know, first of all, that product is an answer to a multiplication problem. So I'm going to be multiplying on this problem. I have 8 7/800. Again, I just honestly need to look at my tenths place when I'm rounding up to my nearest whole number. So I don't even need to know what the hundredths place is because 7 I know is greater than 5, and I'm going to round up to 9. So I have 9 there. Then I have 6 1200. Again, tenths place is the only thing that matters whenever I'm rounding to my nearest whole number. And my tenths place is a 1, which means it's going to be closer to 6. Because 6 1200 is just barely above 6. So what I'm doing is I'm estimating the product, which means I'm multiplying 9 times 6. You all would know the answer to that, which equals 54. Example 3, I want you to go ahead and try this, please, by yourself, and then I'll go over the work. We have estimate the area of this rectangle. So I have 12 2 tenths of a centimeter, which, because this is a 2, it's less than 5. I'm going to round down to 12. So this is 12. And then I have 7 8/10 centimeters, and 7 8/10 centimeters rounds to 8 because 8 here, my tenths place, is greater than 5. So I have 12 centimeters and 8 centimeters estimated. And to find area, I multiply length times width. So 12 times 8. I can write that out, though many of you probably already know that. 12 times 8 is 96. So I have 96 centimeters, and because it's area, it is squared. So 96 squared centimeters would be the area of the rectangle. We're going to be doing more of the practice problems in class for lesson 104, rounding decimal numbers, as well as rounding money, dollars and cents. So we'll be rounding to dollars. We'll also be rounding just to whole numbers with normal decimal numbers. Thank you very much for paying attention.